Hello, everybody. Welcome to game two of Sparky Bowl. This was started in payoff pitch, was just going to be a one off just to show off payoff pitch, which I haven't done payoff pitch in a long time. But then I enjoyed that so much, but I really enjoy inside pitch a little bit better than payoff pitch. And since I had these two teams in inside pitch, I decided to go with that. Hello, Ben. So Fred Norman is going to face Dan Petrie. And Ben, I don't know if you caught in the comments or not, but I corner rounded these 1984 Tiger cards long before corner rounding became cool. I did these as soon as I got them several years ago. So these are corner rounded. The 1984 were corner rounded. So yes, Brian B. There you go. Geronimo is a 2 for a range. Don't know how in the hell that's rated a 2, but whatever. Hello, Tony. Good to see you. So there are your starting lineups for both teams, your benches and your bullpens. Fred Norman, the lefty, is on the mound for the Reds, and Dan Petrie, a right-hander, is on for the Tigers. He probably did and probably just ignored it, knowing him. So he's got his own methods, and he pulls it off a Baseball Reference or something. I don't know. He doesn't do research like Stratomatic does, or that wouldn't have happened. So, all right, hello Jeremiah, good to see you. Okay, we're ready to go. Got our dice out here for Cincinnati Red Colors. Fred Norman finishing up the warm-up tosses, and he'll be facing Lou Whitaker at second base. The Reds won game one of this Sparky Bowl. So we'll see if the Tigers can. Nothing yet, midlife. I haven't thrown the first pitch yet. I'm getting ready to. But the Tigers need to win this to even the series at 2 and send it back to Detroit. Hello, Chuck. Good to see you. So here we go for game 2. 6-4 is a blank. We go to Lou Whitaker. And that's a 5-5. It's a star 1, which is a ground ball to Pete Rose at third base. And there's one away. Whitaker is out. Here's Alan Trammell. Now, I do like the corner rounded cards, but I'm not going to take the time and go corner around every single set I have. I just did it for 84 back when I first got 84 just to try it out. I kind of liked it, but it was a lot of work, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'd do it again for any other set. But hello, Eiler. Good to see you. Oh, yeah, he had a great game. He's on his ticker right now, but it's getting late. I can't wait any longer. But yeah, he had a nice game. Norman, 4-2. That is a blank. We go to Trammell. Uh, 6-1. That's a star 6, and that's a fly to right. 2 down. Nope, you won't see any corner rounding on this channel or 49 hockey. So you're free of both of those things on this channel. Here's Norman to Gibson. 6-6. That's a walk plus to a lefty. That's only a 1, so that's gonna be 11. I'm sorry. I'm getting backwards. It's a 1, so it's definitely gonna be a walk because his walk turns into a 22, plus the stadium makes it a 23. So Gibson's aboard with a 2-out walk, and he didn't need the ghost. No ghost runners here. And the ghost runners in his game didn't matter. I mean, it would have been a 2-run homer had there not been a ghost runner. So the ghost runner really had no effect in that game, despite what RJL believed. But really, the way it turned out, ghost runner had nothing to do with it. You will never see a ghost runner here. I'll play 20 innings before I do a ghost runner. All right, strategy roll 1. So Gibson's going to get the jump. He's a 5, so he got the lead. So he's a 15. Plus 2 from Norman's a 17. Bench is a -1 for a 16. 1 to 16. Here goes Gibson. And he's in there. It's a possible throwing error on bench. He's only a 2, though. That's a 1. That's come up 3. You just saw that. That's 3 1s in a row that were rolled with this D20. Unbelievable. I don't care what color I get. They seem to do this, and I don't know why. I swap out colors left and right, and I still get weird rolls. So anyway, now Gibson's on third base. And here's Parrish. Norman to Parrish. 2-3. It's a range play at the park. There are 2 outs there. Everybody's in normal position. But we're going to Riverfront. 4-3. That's a single plus to center field. Now, normally I'd say Geronimo has this no problem. But in this season, he's rated as a 2. Oddly enough, center fielder for the Tigers, Chet Lemon, is rated as a 5. But Geronimo's rated as a 2. So I'm going to have to play it as it lies, like they say in golf. So his range is only a 2. And it's going to drop in for a base hit. Now, is it going to be a double? Parrish is a 2. The arm of Geronimo, I believe, was rated a 0. Yes, it is. So 1-2, and he stretches this to a double. He does not. He's going to keep it as a single. But there you go. If Geronimo had been rated a 4 like he probably should have been, that ball would have been caught. But I'll just leave it at that. All right, so Parrish now with an attempt. Oh, he has no attempt, actually. We'll roll for a possible pickoff. And there's no pickoff there. Here's Larry Herndon. 3-2. That's a walk chance. Herndon walks as an 8. +1's a 9. That's an 8. It fits. So Norman running into some problems here. After getting the first 2 outs very easily, he's all of a sudden running into issues. Norman to Garbe, 5-4 is a strikeout chance, and he got him to end the inning. But 2 walks, an error, and a single, so that run is definitely, well, you can't say it's unearned because Gibson probably would have scored from second on that hit anyway, so I'll call it an earned run. Doesn't really matter. Tigers get 1. The Reds are probably lucky they didn't get more. We go to the bottom of the first. It's Detroit 1 and Cincinnati coming to bat. And Dan Petrie on the mound will face Pete Rose, Ken Griffey, and Joe Morgan. As the Big Red Machine finds themselves down by a run. Have to play catch up. 6-2, possible error. Go to Pete Rose. That is a 6-6. It's a single, but we're not checking an error now, but it's going to be his speed check. Anytime you run that single with an error chance, it goes to a speed check. So his run rating is a 3. 1-3, he beats this out. 4, 5, or 6, he's out. He's out of there. So that's going to be out as Lou Whitaker makes the play. So 1 away. Here's Ken Griffey. 4-4. That's a walk plus, so Ken Griffey will draw the base on balls. And how about that? You know Dan Petrie pitched to Ken Griffey Jr., so now he gets to pitch to Ken Griffey Sr. All right, so Griffey is a 4 for his attempt. And he gets the lead, 15. But it's a -4 from Petrie, makes him an 11. Parrish, a -2, makes him a 9. So I think Griffey's going to put on the brakes. Wonder what happened to him over from 1 year to the next. I always thought, was he injured in 76 and didn't have the range, or what happened here? I wonder, because I always thought he was covered a lot of ground out there. Like I said, I didn't have the numbers, so I don't know. All right, here's Joe Morgan. A 1. Oh, what am I? I already checked that. Never mind. Got confused there. 3-6. That's a blank to a lefty. So we go to Morgan. 6-3. It's a double to right field for Joe Morgan. Right fielder arm, Gibson is a 0. On a double to right, you lose 1. Griffey runs at a 4. He's dropping down to a 3. So 1-3, and he will score. It's a 6. He might be out. Go to our throw chart. And Gibson was a 0. So 1-3, we go to the third chart. 4, 5, or 6, he holds. We go to the throw chart. So 1, see what happens here. The 4, he's going to be out at the plate. So Griffey's going to be out at the plate. It's going to go 9-4-2 on the relay from Whitaker. Morgan with a double, but a nice throw nails him at the plate. So 2 down, Morgan at second base. And here's Tony Perez. 4-5, and that's a walk chance. 7 will walk him. So runners at first and second. Second walk from Petrie. And here's the DH, Dan Dreesen. Petrie to Dreesen. 1-5 is a strikeout chance, and he got him to end the inning. So the Reds blow a golden opportunity there with Griffey being thrown out at the plate. And at the end of 1, it is 1-0 Tigers. Chet Lemon will lead things off. Against Fred Norman. 5-6 is the ballpark card going to Riverfront Stadium. And that's a leaner, so I'm going to re-roll that. It was probably a 2-4, but I like him to be flat. 2-3 is a G2, and that's an easy play for Johnny Bench. 1 away. 4-2 is a blank. We go to Darrell Evans. 2-6 is a liner right to Morgan for out number 2. That brings up Marty Castillo. 6-3 is a strikeout chance. 15 got him. Second strikeout for Norman. 1-2-3 inning. This time for Norman, much better than the first inning. And we will go to the bottom of the second. Petrie to face George Foster. 3-6, and that's an automatic single. S1. So Foster's aboard. His attempt is a 2. Nope. 19. That's not going to happen. We're not going to have bench bunt. So Petrie to bench. 1-1. That's a straight up home run chance. He's a 15, but that's an 18. So Petrie got lucky. And here's bench. 6-1. It's a ground ball to second. Possible double play. He's a 3. 0. Halfway is a 4. The pivot at short. Trammell is a 0. 1-4, and we have a double play. And we do. It's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. So Bench went from a potential home run to hitting into a double play. 2 down. Hello, Canadian. Good to see you. I didn't plan on being this late, but RJL's game went so long, and I didn't want to jump in while he was playing. I waited till at least the ticker. Petrie 1-3. That's a range play. We go to Geronimo. 3-1, and that's a triple to left field for Geronimo, but it is a range play for Larry Herndon. His range is a 2. A 1 or a 2, and he takes that triple away. He does. So how about that? Saves a big triple. Larry Herndon. I'm going to circle that one. That was a big play. It could have been a 2-out triple with Concepcion coming up, but Mr. Herndon says, not on my watch. All right, back to the top of the order for the Tigers. And that'll bring up Lou Whitaker. 3-3. It's a strikeout chance. 20 is too high. 3-6. That's a ground ball to first. Perez easily with it. 1 down. Here's Trammell. 1-6. Strikeout. 20 again too high. Trammell. 1-4. Ground ball to Concepcion. 2 down. That is now 7 in a row retired by Norman. Last guy to get on base was Herndon. So here's Gibson. 3-6. That's a walk plus. And that will put him on. He's a 10 here, but the plus makes it a 20. Stadium makes it 21. So that will be a walk to Gibson. Second time he's walked Gibson. And Gibson again will try for the lead. Needs a 4 or less. And he gets it. So it's a 15 plus 2 is a 17. And we already know Bench is a 0. 1-17. And he's in there with his second stolen base. No throwing error this time. But he's on second base with 2 outs for Lance Parrish. 5-4. Strikeout chance, 9 got him. So 3 walks and 3 strikeouts in 3 innings for Norman. But he gets out of it without allowing any runs. We go to the bottom of the third. And Dave Concepcion. I still say he's a Hall of Famer. I don't care what anybody else says. He's a Hall of Famer. You can't tell me he didn't blow the shit out of Phil Rizzuto and what's his face from the Dodgers. 2-6, that's a range play. 2-5, that's a pop up to short. Shortstop is Trammell. He's a 5. And he makes the catch. 1 away. Pee Wee Reese, that's who I was thinking of. It's not even close. The comparison between those two, it's just not even close. You could put Pee Wee Reese and Phil Rizzuto together, they still wouldn't be as good as Concepcion. Yet they're both in and Concepcion's not. Go figure. All right, 4-5. That's a walk. And he will walk. So Pete Rose is on. That's the 3rd walk issued by Petrie. 6 walks already. Attempt of 1, nothing happening. Here's Ken Griffey. Well, it definitely improved in left field because they had Pete Rose out there early on, and then they, of course, moved Foster out there later. So that may have had something to do with it. Petrie, 6-2, possible error. 1-1, double to left field. That's a 5. Herndon's error rating is only a 3, so there won't be an error, but it is a double to left. Herndon's arm is a +2, so it looks like Rose will probably score without a, well, won't be without a throw because that's a 3, and you lose 1 on a double to left, but you get 2 back on the +2 arm. So it is a 1-4. And he scores. All right, so Rose is in, slides it under the tag of Lance Parrish, and we got a tie game at 1 apiece as Ken Griffey, RBI double. Petrie to Morgan, 1-1, and that's a straight-up home run chance. Morgan's a 20. It's gone. Dan Petrie hit that roll 2nd time. First time he hit it with bench, and he got away with it, but not this time with Morgan. He's a 20. You can't get away with it with Morgan. So that's gone. Morgan a double in the 1st, and now a 2-run homer here in the 3rd, and the Reds lead 3-1. Just that quickly, they strike. 3-1. Petrie, and that's a 1-1 again. But that's not gone. That's a 16 for Perez, and that's an 18. So Petrie got lucky again. 6-1, star 5 to fly to left. Roger Craig may need to go out and talk to Petrie and tell him quit throwing the ball. Quit throwing meatballs out there. So there's 2 down. Here's Dreesen. 6-2, possible error. 6-1, that's a single, but again, it's not a single check, it's a speed check. 1-4, and he beats it out for a base hit for Dreesen. His attempt is a 4. Does not get the lead. So here's Foster. 5-1, strikeout chance got him. 2nd strikeout for Petrie, but a 3-run 3rd capped off by a 2-run homer from Joe Morgan. And the Reds lead it 3-1 after 3. Fred Norman enjoying the run support. Well, he only had 219 at bats, so maybe a little bit leaning on the cookie cutter there. But I guess I've seen there's a couple guys that have 400 at bats and they still cookie cutter. So what are you going to do? And by the way, just in case he does come in the game, Bill Scher, a reliever for the Tigers, came over from the Reds, so he is in a Reds uniform. So it'd be Reds against Reds if I bring Bill Scher in. Just FYI. All right, here's Herndon. 3-2. That's a walk chance. 8 He walks at an 8 +1, so it will be a walk. 4th walk issued by Norman. Herndon cannot get the lead. And here's Barbaro Garbe. 5-4 strikeout chance, and he got him. Strikeout number 4. So 4 walks and 4 strikeouts for Fred Norman. Pitch to Lemon, 5-6 ballpark card going to Riverfront. 5-5, and that is a star 2. Ground ball to short, possible double play. He's a 3. 0. Halfway makes it a 4. The pivot is second. Morgan is a 0. So 1-4, it's a double play. It is not. It's going to be runner advance. So the only play for Concepcion was to go to first base. Herndon will take second with 2 outs for Darrell Evans. Norman, 3-4. Strikeout chance, 19 is too much. Yeah, no, I'm not messing with deep drive whatsoever. I have no interest in deep drive. No interest in any game that's too much like APA. All right, so here is Evans. 4-5. That's a power result to center. He has to have a 1 or a 2. That's a 13, so it's just a deep fly to center, and that ends the inning. I don't know how Stratomatic rated Geronimo in 76. That I don't know. People are saying that he dropped, his numbers dropped from 75 to 76. More like Status Pro. Well, I got enough games. I don't need any more to try to learn right now. Here is Petrie to bench. 2-1. That's a wild pitch, so we'll call it a blank. Go to bench. 4-1. Ground ball to second. 1 away. And here comes Geronimo. 4-2, and that is a strikeout chance. 18 is too high. We go to Geronimo. 6-4, it's a fly to right. 2 down. Darrell Evans was very underrated. He was a 3 in center field. At least that's average. At least inside pitch could have gave him a 3, which was average. But they really rated him below average. Yes, Doug, I am doing much better. The wounds there are no longer bothering me. I'm not even taking Benadryl anymore. It's almost like it never happened. But you can better believe when I go out there again next time, I'll be on the lookout. They won't catch me by surprise this time around. I got Pearl Harbor the first time, but Petrie, 5-3 is a blank. Go to Concepcion. 3-1, and that is a single past third base. So Concepcion is on. Yeah, Jeff, that's why I like Stratomatic the best, because I trust their ratings the most of anybody. I enjoy the game flow. I don't know where he gets his rating from, so I'm assuming he gets it off Baseball Reference and uses some sort of formula. So I just think he looks at a number and plugs it in and doesn't even think about it, to be honest with you. I don't think there's a lot of thought in these ratings. I think it's just all based on whatever the computer spits out. That's just my opinion. I don't know, because I'm not there when he rates everything, but it just seems like. No, I was only stung twice, so fortunate there, I guess. Nothing on the strategy roll. That'll bring up Pete Rose. 2 outs, Concepcion at first. 4-5 is a walk chance. 18, too much. Go to Petrie. 6-3, and that's a star 6 fly to center to end the inning. So at the end of 4, it is still Cincinnati 3 and Detroit 1. Cincinnati already leads the series 1-0, but the next couple of games will be in Detroit Tiger Stadium, and maybe the Tigers can improve. I don't know, when they get some home cooking. Here's Marty Castillo, and I believe the Reds will pitched Gary Nolan in Game 3, so they'll be able to use some of their left-handed hitters. These first 2 games were against lefty pitching, so you got Garbe and Herndon. You don't have guys like Rupert Jones, Johnny Grubb, Bergman, some of the better left-handed hitters that they have. Norman, 5-1. That's a blank to a righty. 5-2, ground ball to short. Well, there's one away, and here's Lou Whitaker. I will say inside pitch is the easiest game to stream because the cards show up the best. Overall, I think it's the best game to stream of all the games out there, Strat included. I think this is the easiest game to stream. Yep, Chuck, because Strat puts them on both teams. All right, here's Norman to Whitaker. 2-4, that's a blank. We go to Whitaker. 6-5, and that's a ground ball to Concepcion again. He makes another play. 2 down. So Norman appears to have settled down since that rough first inning. 4-6, strikeout 12 is too high to Trammell. Go to Trammell. 5-1, power result to center. That's all the way up to 20, so he's going to get something. That's a 5, so it'll be a single for Alan Trammell. 2-out single for Alan Trammell. All right, so Trammell with a attempt of 3. That's a 2. He can get the lead. 12 plus the 2 is a 14. So 1-14, they're going to send him. And he's in there. Stolen base, Trammell. I'll tell you what, Johnny Bench is not used to having 3 stolen bases against him in 5 innings, that's for sure, but it's happened. Of course, Norman's not helping the cause with that +2 rating. All right, here's Gibson. 2 walks so far. 1-4, that's a strikeout chance. 7 got him. So Gibson is out of there to end the inning, and that is strikeout number 5 for Fred Norman. So we go to the bottom of the 5th, still 3-1. Petrie back out, and he will be facing Griffey, Morgan, and Perez. This is the part of the order that he's had trouble with. 6-3, ballpark card going to Riverfront. 1-4, that's a single past second base. So how about that? Griffey reaches again on the ballpark card. His attempt is a 4. That's a 2. He's going to get to go. 15, but that's a minus. Yeah, again, that's a 9, so he's not going to go, actually. He's going to call it off. Petrie to Morgan, that's a blank. 3-5, and that's a star 3. Ground ball to short, possible double play. He's only a 1, though. Halfway is a 2. The pivot at seconds is 0. 1-2, it's a double play. And it is. It's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. 6-4-3 double play. It was hit to Trammell, wasn't it? So 2 quick outs. And that brings up Perez. 4-6, that's a strikeout chance. 18 is too much. 5-4, pops to third, and that's going to end the inning. So we go to the 6th. Still 3-1 Cincinnati. Norman can face 28 batters. So far, he's faced 21, so he's in good shape. And because of the DH, you don't need to worry about pinch hitting for him. So he can go as long as until his arm falls off, I guess. Norman, 4-3, strikeout chance 8, got him. 6 strikeout for Norman as he gets Lance Parrish. Here's Herndon. Herndon's walked twice. 3-2, he might walk again. That's an 18, but that's too high, so not going to walk this time. He will swing, though. 5-5, he's going to fly it to right field for Griffey. 2 down for Barbaro Garbe. Norman, 4-4. Blank to Garbe. 4-3, and that's a star 1. Ground ball to Rose, and that's going to end the inning. So Norman has come back since the first inning and has shut down the Tigers, not letting them do anything. And Petrie's been bitten by the gopher ball from Joe Morgan, and that has given the Reds the lead. Here's Danny Dreesen. 2-2. That's a strikeout chance for. Got him. And that is only the third strikeout for Petrie. Hello, Robert. It was a definitely exciting game that you just had there. So I'm sure you are exhausted, especially with extra innings and whatnot. All right, so here is Foster. 1-4. It's another blank. We go to Foster. 5-5. It's ground ball to short. Trammell is there. 2 down for Mr. Johnny Bench. 2-2. Strikeout 6. Got him. So Petrie just had his one bad inning. Other than that, he's done pretty well, but he's on the short end of a 3-1 game. Start the top of the 7th. And again, Norman can face 28 batters. He's faced 25. So they at least like to get him through 7 innings and then turn it over to the bullpen. And, of course, since Brian B. is here, you can manage the bullpen as you wish. And I will put in whoever you say should go in there. Pitch to Lemon, 5-3. Possible error on a throw. 5-5. That is against a lefty, that's a single to short. That's an 11. Concepcion's error is only a 9, though, so there's no throwing error. But it will be a single for Chet Lemon. So Chet Lemon is aboard. He has no chance to steal. Check for strategy. Nothing there. Three, 4, and that is a strikeout chance, but 20 is too high. Here's Evans. 3-3. Power result to left, but again, it's only a 1-2, so it's going to be, power result to center. It's going to be a fly out to Geronimo for out number 1. And here is Castillo. We're in the 7th inning, so we are allowed to use pinch hitters now, and they will pinch hit for Castillo. So Castillo will be lifted, and the Tigers will go to a right-hander off the bench, Rusty Kuntz. Rusty Kuntz will pinch hit for Castillo. And Tom Brookins will come in and play third base. So we've got Kuntz and we've got Brookins. So Brookins, when he in the bottom of the inning, and he will improve the defense dramatically. He's a 5 and a 7 instead of a 2 and an 11. So Rusty Kuntz up with 1 out. And Lemon still at first base. This is the 28th batter for Norman. Now Lemon gets a 1. He's got a chance. I'm sorry, no, his attempt was not a 1 because Norman has a -1. That's right. That's why I didn't have him out, because he couldn't get the lead. All right, so here's Kuntz. 4-3. That's a strikeout chance. 13. Got him because it's 12 here, but the stadium adds 1. So 7th strikeout for Norman. And now he's tired, but they're going to try to get him through the inning. Lefty on lefty against Whitaker. He's gotten Whitaker 3 times. Norman 4-2 blank. We go to Lou Whitaker. 1-4, single to left field for Whitaker. Let's see if Lemon can move up. He runs at a 2. Single. There are 2 outs, makes him a 3. Foster's arm is a -1, drops him to a 2. Single to left to get from first to third. You lose 2, so that's a 0. He cannot go up. So Lemon has to stop at second base. So first and second, tying runs are on base. Norman is tired. So I don't know, Brian B., or like I said, you're not playing National League rules, so it doesn't matter about whatever. But Norman is tired now. You could bring in Eastwick or Bourbon or whoever you want to. Hello, Colin. Good to see you. So you can let me know Eastwick was the closer. Bourbon looks like more of the setup guy. That's Bourbon, and that's Eastwick. You want to bring in Billingham? Okay. That's what you want. That's what we'll do. So Norman is done, and Jack Billingham will be coming on. Mostly a starter, but not in this World Series. He only relieved in the 76 series. So if we look at the numbers on Norman, he's going to go 6 2/3, and we'll do the rest after the inning is over. But now Trammell will be facing Billingham. 2 outs, runners at first and second. Billingham to Trammell. 2-6, that's a possible error on a ground ball. 3-6, it's a fly to right, doesn't matter. Griffey got it. That's going to end the inning. So now we can close the book on Norman, and he only allows the 1 run. I'm calling it an earned run, even though there was an error there, but I think that single he would have scored from second anyway. Let's see, he struck out 7, walking. I've got him walking 4. And how many hits did he give up? 1, 2, 4 hits. I've only got him for 4 hits allowed. So, and then Billingham after that. All right. So nothing doing for the Tigers as Billingham came in and shut the door. Let's see. Petrie can face 28 batters as well. He's at face 26. Although he has pitched well here recently. Tough call. Tough call. Let me look at the thing here. Tiger's going to go to the bullpen for Senor Smoke, Aurelio Lopez. He will come on and try to keep the score where it is. So Petrie's going to go 6 innings, give up 3 runs. They were earned. Hits. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. He walked 3, struck out 3. All right, so it'll be Geronimo, Concepcion, and Rose. And since it's late, I don't want the game to extend any longer than I have to. I'm going to shoo the 7th inning stretch and just keep rolling, literally and figuratively. So here's Geronimo. 2-5, strikeout, 10, got him. So Senor Smoke comes in and smokes Geronimo for 1 away. Concepcion, 5-3. That's the ballpark card going to Riverfront. 3-5, and that's a power result to center. That's an 18, so that's a deep fly to center field, 1 away, or 2 away, actually. So Concepcion hit it well, but to the deepest part of the park. Lemon ran it down. Here's Pete Rose, 6-4, a double to center field. And actually, Pete Rose is still mad at me for pulling him early in the season ticket 1978 All-Star game. Still catching guff about that from Pete Rose. So it's a 2-out double for Rose. And here comes Griffey. 5-5, that's a walk chance. 15 is too high. Go to Griffey. 2-5, ground ball to first, and Evans makes the play to end the inning. So we go to the 8th. Still 3-1. And Brian, unless you say something differently, I'm going to keep with Billingham. Unless you want to bring in somebody else. We got Gibson, Parrish, and Herndon coming up. Although Herndon's going to be pinch hit for the lefty because we got the righty in the lineup now. So it looks like going to the bench for the Tigers, they will get Rupert Jones. And Rupert Jones will stay in the game to play left field in place of Herndon. Also going to be better defensively. He's really a center fielder playing left is what he really was. Because Lemon was out there most of the time. So it's Gibson, Parrish, and Jones, not Herndon. So Gibson, Parrish, and Jones. All right, you want to see if he can finish it? Maybe not even bother Eastwick or Bone. We'll find out. I will, if they get a couple guys on, I will go a little slower to give you a chance to chime in if you want to make a substitution. All right, here is Billingham to Gibson. 3-4. That's a range play at the park. So we are going to Riverfront for a range play. 3-3, and that's a star 6, which is a ground ball to short. Concepcion a 5. At least he's properly rated. And no problem there for Concepcion. He makes the play. If they had rated Concepcion a 2, I'd have quit the game. I'm not lying. I'd have quit the game if that was the case, because that would be bogus. All right, here's Lance Parrish. 6-5, strikeout chance 4, got him. So look at Billingham. Parrish has got the hat trick. He struck out all 3 times. All right, here's Rupert Jones, the pinch hitter, and he will stay in the game and play left field the rest of the way. 2-3, and that's an automatic out for the lefty. And the automatic out will be a ground ball to Morgan to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Reds hold a 3-2 lead, a 3-1 lead rather. And with some lefties coming up and the travel day between the series game 2 and game 3, so you get rest, they will be bringing in Willie Hernandez. So Jones stays in the game left field, but Willie Hernandez will come in and pitch and try to keep the score where it is. Willie Hernandez. So we look at Lopez. He went 1 inning, gave up a hit, no runs, and a strikeout. All right, so he'll be facing Morgan, Perez, and Dreesen. Of course, you could pinch hit for Dreesen if you wish for a right-hander. Just let me know. And if you'll make a defensive substitution in the 9th, you can let me know that too. Hernandez, 6-5, walk chance, and he will walk Joe Morgan. Lead off walk to Little Joe. He's a 7 attempt, but it's a -2 from Hernandez for a 5. But he still gets the lead, 17-0. Parrish is a -2, 1-15. You're not stopping Little Joe. And he's in there, stolen base. All right, so we're going to have Bailey pinch hit for Dreesen and stay in the game as a DH after Perez hits. Bailey. All right, well, Morgan's at second with nobody out. And now here's Perez. Do they walk Perez is the question and set up a double play. Perez, though, is 0 for 3, or 0 for 2, rather, so they're going to pitch to him. 1-6, that's a pitcher result. 1-10's an out. That's a 6, so it will be an out. And the out will be a ground ball to third. If we roll a 6, that means Morgan can take third. We do not, so he holds. So Perez is out. Dreesen will leave. And we'll get Bob Bailey. He will stay in the game to DH. Bob Bailey, a .298 hitter on the season. Hernandez facing Bailey. 6-3, that's a strikeout chance. 3 got him. So he strikes out the pinch hitter Bailey. George Foster is up, and they're giving the 4 fingers to George Foster. They're not going to let him hurt him anymore. They'll take their chances with a beat-up Johnny Bench, although he was the MVP in the World Series in '76. He was injured much of the season, so they will take their chances with Johnny Bench as opposed to Foster. So here's Hernandez. 4-3, strikeout 9, got him. Strategy paid off. And Willie Hernandez goes 1 inning, strikes out 2, walks 1, which was intentional. Actually, he walked 2. One of them was intentional. No runs, no hits. So we go to the 9th, last chance for the Tigers. Billingham coming back out. I'm assuming Eastwick is in the bullpen just in case. The scheduled hitter is Garbe, but with the right-hander Billingham, they're going to pull Garbe and go with Johnny Grubb. Well, let's see. Grubb's a cookie cutter, unfortunately. So is Bergman. But we'll go with Grubb anyway. Grubb will stay in the game to be a DH. I'm just making a move I think Sparky would make. So Johnny Grubb will be the leadoff hitter here in the 9th against Billingham. 3-1 Reds. It's been 3-1 since the 3rd. Billingham 3-5, and against the lefty, it's a blank. Would have been a strike. He probably would have struck out Garbe if I'd have left him in there against the right-hander. So Grubb does get the swing. 1-2. It's a single pass third, and again, not to beat a dead horse, but a baseball demo's pinch hitter, more than not, gets a hit. All right, Grubb has no attempt, so he's not going anywhere. Billingham does have a chance for pickoff, though, but nothing happening. So here's Chet Lemon. He is the tying run at the plate. 2-6, possible error on a ground ball. 1-3, it's a fly to right field, so no error there. 1 away, and Darrell Evans, who can hit the long ball, is up. And I'm assuming Brian B is going to allow Billingham to keep going. Nothing on the strategy. Billingham to Evans. 2-4, strikeout chance, got him. Look at Mr. Billingham. So now, last chance, it is Brookins. But do they pinch hit for Brookins? Howard Johnson has a better chance to hit a home run, so they're going to go to Howard Johnson. And if they somehow tie it, he would stay in the game to play third base. So Hojo is going to be the last hurrah with the Tigers. That leaves Bergman and Baker, the only two guys left on the bench. So Hojo is up, 2 down. Grubb is at first. His run really doesn't mean anything, so there's no sense in pinch running for him. Billingham, nothing happening there. Let me see how many batters Billingham has faced. Let's see. 1, 4, 7. So this is batter number 8. He can face 10, so he's okay. Billingham to Hojo. 4-1, and that is a walk chance. 8 walks him. So Johnson draws the walk, and now the tying runs are on base for Lou Whitaker. So with the lefty coming up, I don't know if you want to bring in McEnany or Eastwick or stick with Billingham. I will pause for a second. So you say bring in McEnany. Okay, Billingham can't quite finish it the way Brian B would hoped. So McEnany will be coming on, the left-hander. Billingham's going to go 1, looks like 2 innings for Billingham. A hit, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. No runs, but he is responsible for both guys on base. So Billingham certainly did quite a job. But now it is going to be McEnany, the lefty, as Captain Hook makes the call to the bullpen. Will McEnany. Tying runs are on base, which means strategy rolls are still effective. Nothing happening. McEnany to Whitaker. 6-2 is a blank. We go to Whitaker. 6-1. It's a fly to right, and the ball game is over. Cincinnati wins both games. They take a 2-0 lead into Detroit. The save to McEnany. So he goes a third of an inning, gives up nothing. The win to Norman, and Petrie will take the loss. So the Reds take a 2-0 lead in the series, much like they did against the Yankees in '76. Let's get the totals for each team. There was an error on bench and no errors on the Tigers. So let's see, total hits. I've got the Tigers for just 5 hits and the Reds for 8 hits. Left on base, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 left on for Detroit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left on for the Reds. So there you go. I don't know. It'll be a couple days, Brian. At least I would say Tuesday at the earliest, but because I got Strat I want to play, and I want to wrap up the stats on Inside Pitch 77 so I can present that. So I'm thinking Tuesday, but don't quote me on it. But it certainly won't be like tomorrow, because I want to give people a chance to watch this and get caught up on the series. So Game 3, because I'd pre-filled all these score sheets on Payoff Pitch, and I had to reprint just blank ones to use for Inside Pitch. Game 3, it'll be Pat Zachary, a right-hander, not Gary Nolan, but Pat Zachary for the Reds against right-hander Milt Wilcox. Oh, keep it just as Sunday nights, you're saying? Go a week between games? Is that too much for a replay? Are people going to lose interest or lose what's going on that? I don't know. Play it by ear. I'm not in any rush. Whatever might suit everybody. It doesn't matter to me. I'm unfazed either way. I can do either one. And like I said, for anybody that didn't notice earlier or whatever, the Tiger cards are corner rounded. This was before corner rounding became cool. But you can see there, when I had these two cards together, you can see the little corner. I didn't cut off much of the corner, but I cut off a little bit. But they are corner round. I will say they do move a little bit better in your hands if you got a bunch of them, but I don't think it's worth the effort myself. But I mean, I did it for that one season just to try it. And since I've already done it, I can't undo it, obviously. You can't uncorner around something. So, in case anybody was wondering how I store my cards, I use these little things here I got off Amazon. Little baggies. They do work well for Inside Pitch or Payoff Pitch cards. Either one. They work well for either one. So that's what I use for those. So I will at some point play Game 3. I just don't know when. But anyway, I know it's getting late. I appreciate all you guys sticking around. Of course, I don't know if you're on the West Coast or you're not on the Eastern time zone. It's not that late, but in the East, we're getting close. We're about 10:45. So, but fortunately, that's one of the beauties of being retired is I don't have to get up early in the morning and go to work. So that gives me some flexibility right there for sure. So tomorrow morning, Canadian, you have a good one yourself. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to try to do it kind of early, but I'm not sure exactly when. But tomorrow morning, I plan on doing Strat. I like doing Strat in the morning with my coffee. And it'll be Seattle at Boston. Might be a high-scoring game because it's Mike Trujillo against Jeff Sellers. So that could be a 10-9 game just waiting to happen. But I'll have my coffee ready. Probably try to play that around 8:30. Between 8 and 9. So it depends on how fast. I usually get up around 7. So if I'm able to get up and get a couple cups of coffee in me and get everything, I'll set up everything tonight so it's all ready to go. So tomorrow morning, all I do is come up here and start. I got all the cards and the score sheet's already filled out. So I'll go ahead and get all that together and get that done. In fact, I've got the score sheet already filled out. So I'm all ready to go. That'll be the game tomorrow. 2 last place teams in the replay. Boston is 12-19. Seattle is 11-21. Jeff Sellers 2-1 against Mike Trujillo 1-2. It'll be game number 214 on the replay. Hello, K-Fan. You're most welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I had fun. It's always more fun when people are around, so you can kind of bounce off ideas. I know sometimes I lose track of the chat when I'm playing, or I lose track of what I rolled and what I didn't roll when I'm chatting. So can be a little confusing sometimes, but overall, I still enjoy that more. I remember when I first started, I would only record because I wasn't comfortable doing live. I didn't like doing live, but now it's almost like all I do is live. So, and anyway, back in the day, I mean, it took forever for a recorded thing to upload to YouTube. It would take hours, and I got tired of waiting. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I did it. But anyway, I've got the bullpen sheets and bench sheets all ready to go for Game 3 of the Tiger Series when I get there. Don't know when I'll do it, but that's what we got. So, hope you enjoyed that presentation of Inside Pitch. 1976 Reds against the 84 Tigers. Sparky Anderson Bowl, if you want to call it that. Probably the two best teams he coached or he managed were those two teams. Although you could argue 75 Reds and 76 Reds were the two best teams, but I mean, I'm not using the Reds twice. So the best Tiger team against probably the best Reds team. So that's why I picked that. So anyway, that's going to do it from here. I need to get everything set up for tomorrow so I can get to bed and get some rest. And then go from there. So hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Stay safe out there. I stayed safe during the weekend. My problem with the Yellow Jackets was on Friday. But otherwise, I stayed safe during the weekend and pretty much stayed indoors too. So, all right. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening and your week gets off to a good start. And if you are working tomorrow morning or whatever you're doing and you have access to YouTube or whatever, and if you can't watch, if you're driving around or you're working in an office or something like that, and you can wear earbuds or whatever, I'll be on sometime between 8:30 and 9 o'clock for this game right here, Strat-O-Matic, old school, no dice tower, no nothing, just old school stuff, small dice, all old school stuff for Strat-O-Matic. I love old school. I will use this dice tower tray as my backstop, just so in case I roll the dice too hard, they'll stay in view of the camera. So anyway, so this gives me a good chance to prelim that to figure out where the best place to put the, of course, I'll probably lower this a little bit for Strat because I want to get down closer to the cards. So probably looking at something like this, probably. I'll play with it and figure it out, but that's generally what I'm going to be doing. So there you go. All right, folks. Everybody have a wonderful night. Hope you enjoyed between this and Robert's game before that. I hope you got your fill of Inside Pitch and enjoyed Inside Pitch. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And I will see you all down the road, hopefully tomorrow morning if you're available. Good night, everybody.